Take 2 on the natural stone video. Alright, sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Last video ended with my ILR. I was planning on coming back and doing more information, but my phone nearly died. And by the time I got through putting everything together, I'd realized I'd just be better off doing 2 videos. So, let me go ahead and get started for the natural video segment. So, I figured it's best to just do 2 videos. Alright, stand by while I pause this and I'll get set up and I'll start all over again with my ILR. Stand by. Let me pause. Back in a minute. Okay, we're back. This is the ILR where I left off at. Now, the ILR, as I mentioned in the last video, Dr. Matt turned me on to it. I'll put the link to his channel below, but I've had lather on my face. It's done extremely good. And even in the middle of a shave, as I just stated, lather on my face. I've had an edge not due to it. I go to this stone, do simple X strokes under low running water. I mean low, really low, almost like a trickle. Then you turn the water up a little bit. And I had a friend tell me one time that he even took it even further and added a couple small drops of glycerin to that. And fished on that. And he's done several killer edges with it and whatnot. Now this is my specific stone, that is indeed a natural stone. Alright. Now, the reason I say that is I've got a piece of slate that's MIA at the moment. This specific ILR that I bought about a year ago now is really close to it. I mean, and the piece that's missing is guaranteed pretty much a certified slate stone, and this stone's pretty close to it. But yeah, Dr. Matt, you want to check him out on the ILR, and he's done a whole series of cauticles and whatnot. And I consider him the cauticle and ILR expert. Now, I don't use the slurry stone. It's not needed. In fact, the only thing I've used this slurry stone for would be to take the scratches out after I lapped it with my diamond plate. Alright, with that being said, let me pause this and I'll go to the next stone segment. Hopefully this audio and lighting issue will be fixed. This specific camera is on my cell phone at the moment. It's got better audio and a longer recording time, while the end result is better with my other camera right over here. Let me get it for you. This Nikon Coolpix B500 shoots the same audio quality, and I only get 29 minutes, and there's no plug-in for at least I don't think there is. There's no plug-in for additional audio, and it does upload somewhat faster, but not much. But when it does upload a YouTube video, it puts it in 1080p, while this one here on this camera phone, on my Samsung smartphone, it only does 720p after uploading. And I also have to go back in and edit the description and whatnot after it's uploaded, but I'd rather do that and put in what I want in the description and whatnot afterwards. And plus, as I mentioned, the audio is better due to the microphone plugging into the jack. Pretty sure it's plugged in there. Alright. So let me pause this and we'll go to my next stone, which is my slowest. Okay, we're back. This next stone is my slowest, while my last stone, the ILR, was my fastest. Because, like I said, with the ILR, I finished the razor off right in the middle of a shave, taking it back to where it needed to be, and finished it up, and ended up being exactly what I wanted. But anyway, this specific stone here is a brand name called Arkansas stones. Arkansas oil stones. That's not the name of the stone, it's the brand name. And the term surgical black is a marketing tactic, not the actual name of the stone. Respectfully speaking. Alright? These you will not be setting land speed records. In fact, it'd be quite the opposite. More like a how slow can you go type of deal, scenario. Respectfully speaking, this one came in a beautiful, gorgeous wooden case. Hope you can see that pretty good. Looks like you can. Alright. Now, oil stones work like a synthetic. And what I mean by that is, these right here, a 300 grit, just a couple strokes around each corner and across the top, and you're done. You don't want these perfectly flat. Quite the opposite, okay? Alright, you don't take long to do it. And these also remain flat. The last time I flattened these was about a year and a half ago. Yeah, I've owned it that long. Arkansas oil stones have been around forever. They're excellent stones. They're affordable. I'll put the link to an affordable set below. The progression. My friend Craig Miner can help on this, and so can Mike Baker and Caleb McCullough. Those three guys I consider the oil stone guides. Go-to guys here. Now, the best oil you can use on an Arkansas oil stone, in my opinion, this is my personal choice right here, is 3-in-1 oil. Okay? And you can get a small bottle of it for like maybe $3-4 at Walmart in the tool section. You can get a quart of it for like maybe $7, give or take. A little bit goes a long way. You don't have to spend a lot of money on the 3-in-1 oil. But for those of you who are married and have a spouse that cannot stand the smell of it, there are some options out there. Now this is some old stuff, but there's this stuff right here, buck knives, honing oil. I wouldn't call it oil. This stuff here, more like soapy water. An oily version of a soapy water, like a diluted version, if you will. This stuff, it's decent, but mineral oil with some dish soap, I've heard of that. And of course, my personal favorite that works extremely well is this stuff right here, glycerin. Take a few drops of glycerin mixed with water on this stone, you got something stupid slick. I mean, really, really slick. Now, as I stated, you are not, I repeat, not going to be set land speed records at all. These things are really slow. It's but that's okay with me, because it gives me a chance to sit back, relax, focus on what I'm doing, clear my mind and whatnot, and I really enjoy that more than anything these days now that I'm older. Back in the day I couldn't do it, but once you've been through some rough things in your life and whatnot, and as you get older you tend to enjoy every moment you can to relax. And this is one of the most relaxing things you could do, is honing a razor, specifically on oil stones. They're slow, but they're so good edges. They're very beautiful, gorgeous edges, refined, smooth cutting, and sharp and keen. The stones you don't have to lap and whatnot. And another stone that you could start with in the progression would be the Norton India oil stones. I'll put the link to the page where I get mine at. I need to get me some. But if you don't want to use those to set a bevel and use strictly naturals like what these are, the common composition for these would be novaculite and quartz. The finer the stone, the more quartz it has in it, and the harder it is. This right here is a soft dark. This is where you would start if you want to set a bevel on a razor using oil stones. Or you could get a Fort Norton Fine India synthetic oil stone and set a bevel, and then progress to this stone. Now, the progression that Dan's whetstone uses is soft Arkansas, hard Arkansas, true hard Arkansas, Washita, translucent, black. My friend Craig Miner, you can find him on Facebook and YouTube, but I don't think he does videos. To my knowledge, I'm pretty sure Craig does it. You can message him on Facebook, but he finishes his after going to a black. He'll start with a soft arc after bevel set. He uses a King 1000 grit to set his bevel on a razor. And then he goes to a soft Arkansas, a hard Arkansas, a black, and then he finishes up on a translucent. That's what my friend Craig does. My progression will be, once I get the stones I want, that'll be a while before I get the oil stones, depending on what I find on Superior Shale. I'm going to try and get a conical next and whatnot, but my progression will be a soft Arkansas, a hard Arkansas, and the black, which is also listed for the most part on websites as the surgical black. That's not the name of the stone, that's the marketing scheme behind it. Back in the day, the black stone was marketed as a surgical black because surgeons in the medical profession used to sharpen their tools that they used to perform surgery with on that specific stone because it left that fine of a keen of an edge, which is very, very nice and accurate. Dan's whetstone's got that listed dead last in its progression. I have to agree with him on that because they're pretty much experts in Arkansas oil stones. Remember, Arkansas is just a brand name, and it's really noviculite and quartz. So, and plus, pour your pot of coffee when you're home if you want to enjoy yourself. But these are a joy to hone on. Another thing you need to know about these Arkansas oil stones is that they start off, when you start off honing on them, they're like glue. They're like a glue trap, like taking your finger through molasses type, hardened molasses or something type of glue scenario, if you will. But as you hone, they get loose and loosen up and loosen up, and when they finally quit, and usually like taking a razor across a piece of glass or ice, then you pretty much know you're done. It breaks free from the stone, if you will. That's what I'm trying to say there. So once the stone on these Arkansas oil stones get to where you cannot get any resistance out of them, stop. You're done. Go to the next stone up. Some of your synthetics that way. In my last video, I mentioned my Shapton 12K M5 12,000 grit stone by Shapton, $55 when I got off of Amazon. It works the opposite way as opposed to my other synthetics. In fact, it works like a JNAT, which makes it unique and different. So, but the Arkansas stones, and for the most part, most of your synthetic stones, rough estimate, now don't take what I say to be gospel or anything like that. Just take it with a grain of salt and go from there. Okay? And try everything. Don't let some poobah or wannabe blow smoke up your butt and tell you otherwise. Because in reality, they probably honed 2 razors. I can't tell you how many I've honed. I can't tell you how many I've jacked up. When yes, I have. I'm not ashamed to admit it. That's part of the process. I can't tell you how many strops I've torn up. I mean, it's part of the learning curve. You're not going to be successful at this overnight. You got to hone, and try things out and see for yourself. Now, what I'm doing this, why I'm doing these videos and whatnot, is to help you guys save some money and not make the mistakes that I did on honing stones. But still, if you want to go ahead and make those mistakes and learn from it, by all means, go right ahead. I'm just trying to help you save some money and whatnot and get to where you can start enjoying success sooner rather than later. Okay, let me pause this and let's get set up for the next segment for the next natural stone. Once again, that's a soft Arkansas, and the progression is soft arc, hard arc, true hard, Washita, translucent, black. That's your progression for the Arkansas oil stones. And if you want a bevel setting oil stone, you either start at the soft arc, or you get a Norton India oil stone, fine Norton India oil stone, and I'll put the link below in the deal for both them and an affordable set. Alright, stand by while I pause this and get ready for the next segment. Okay, we're back. Now this next stone is why I had to refilm my my stone buyer's guide, and I decided to put it in 2 videos and whatnot. So these times they're staying up. I'm pretty much happy with them the way they're turning out so far. Okay, this next stone here, very good for beginners. Yes, you can finish off this stone, but I don't like to. I personally like to put this right after my 5K Suehiro Rika, and I use it like a pre-finisher, but you can still use it as a finisher, and you can still shave off of it. It gives a keen edge. But for me and my skin, I kind of like it as a pre-finisher. Like, for example, let's say I get an old razor let's say it just needs a tune-up that somebody wants to shave off of real quick, and it just needs your basic maintenance, if you will. Don't have to do bevel set or repair or anything. You just need to bring it back up to where it's fresh off the stones and give it a better quality shave. Now, I usually start with either this stone or my Suehiro Rika 5K, and then this stone, and then I'll go straight to my ILR at the moment, and then I'm good to go. I'm ready. That thing's ready to shave. This specific stone right here, the Apache Strata. Go ahead and Google it, because I forgot where I got it and who I got it from. I don't even know if they still do anything from razors, and if they do, if they don't, you'll probably have to lap the living crap out of it. This is a sandstone, and you can find it out in the Arizona desert area and whatnot. Excellent stone. Kind of fast, but not really. Another thing I noticed about this stone too, I don't know if you can hear it. Almost no feedback. It's thirsty. And when I do mean thirsty, I mean stupid thirsty. In the last video done about my synthetics, you heard me say that my Suehiros require a minimum of 15 minutes of soaking. Well, this one here likes an hour soak time minimum. It's nothing unusual for me to pull this thing out of soaking, if you will, after soaking it for an hour. It's nothing unusual for me to have to pull out the stone, put it on the holder like I got it now, and then turn right around and have to add water to it. I'm not kidding. It's that thirsty. I don't even think a King 1000 can even come close to this at all. I mean, I've never seen such a thirsty stone before in my life until I got this beast right here. A lot of people don't like the final edge on it. Some people do. I prefer to put it as my, instead of an 8K, for example, let's say if I had a Naniwa Snow White and I wanted a natural edge to take its place, I would go to this stone right here. But it's stupid thirsty. It hates slurry. You could put slurry on this thing and it won't do too much good. And also, it'll start out stupid smooth with your razor wheel on this stone. But as you keep going with clean water, and it'll start to get so sticky you can't stand it. It'll be like glue when you're done. when it gets to where you cannot take your razor across this stone, stop. You're done. Alright. I think I paid about $100 for this one because they come in various sizes and whatnot. And these are quarried, or they were, and there's a lot of work that goes into quarrying. But they're sandstone. They're really nice. They put a nice keen edge on there. They're affordable. In fact, a lot of people think they put too keen of an edge on them. I know my buddy Anthony Esposito thinks it's harsh, but me, I don't think it's harsh if you use it before you do a finisher. And usually with this, after this stone, I either go to my ILR and do Dr. Matt's under running water technique, which is the same as the conical technique he's demonstrated, or I go to my JNAT, which is my next stone coming up. So let me pause this, get set up, and I'll start my next stone. Okay, we're back for the final stone in my collection. I'd say this is probably one of Keith Johnson's favorite stones to hone on. I'm not real sure. I don't see him honing on this one too much, but it's a Japanese natural, or JNAT. This is a Shubodani Asueto Type 100. Shubodani Asueto means finishing. Point blank. That's a finishing stone. Alright. Type 100's the size. And which is a 6x2 inch. Hope you can see it good. Now this stone, you need to have slurry. Some people say, oh, you can finish with running water on this. I laugh at them a bit and ask them if they're smoking something illegal, if you will. But then again, these days, I'm not real sure if that's illegal. With the way our government and whatnot's going. Sarcasm, if you will. I try not to get into that too much. It's mind-boggling and causes more problems than it's worth. Either way, you ain't gonna get the end result you want. But anyway, enough of that BS. The Shubodani Asueto, you need to have slurry. Now, what I do to build a slurry, I use 3 different things. Alright? First thing I do is I wet the stone really good. I make sure it's wet. And then I'll start with my diamond plate. Okay? I'll build a slurry and I'll get it to a, let's see, almost like a consistency of milk. Almost like a milky, little bit thicker than milk type slurry. Maybe a little bit less, somewhere in there. This slurry here, when I do the honing video, it's going to be like a off cream colored type slurry using a diamond plate. It's faster than the Izuku Misu Asagi that my buddy Anthony Esposito uses, but I think it's a little bit finer stone than that stone, than that Izuku Misu Asagi. This right here is an excellent stone, excellent for beginners, very affordable, easily obtainable, and whatnot. And after the first slurry, which is I only do 10 to 15 X strokes, okay, maybe 20. I try not to do more than 20 X strokes. Alright. At the most, if I have to go more than that, I go back to either the Apache Strata or my Suhiro Rika 5K. I blew it if I have to do more than 20. You shouldn't have to do more than 20 strokes on this stone in general with a slurry using this diamond plate, which is a 600 grit. Alright. Now after I'm finished that, I'll rinse off the stone completely. And I'll go to the 1K side, or the blue, and build a slurry using that, using the same technique. It's kind of a little bit bluish, off-white type slurry. Almost like milk, if you will. Maybe a little bit thicker than milk, but not much. And then I'll do 10 to 15, maybe 20 X strokes. And then I'll repeat for the yellow side or the 3K side. In reality, I think I do around I'm wanting to say 40 to 60 X strokes at the most, and that's like three different sets of 20s at the most. 20 X strokes or whatever the razor needs. I don't count much anymore unless I use Anthony Esposito's method, which is 40, 40, 20, 20, 10, 10, 5, 5 seconds on each side. 40 seconds on each side, 20 seconds on each side, 10 seconds on each side worth of half strokes or Japanese style honing, and then 5 seconds on each side, and then he'll do 10 X strokes, like cleanup strokes. Sometimes it'll be rolling strokes. Sometimes I'll do that too, but I usually don't do that many. I'll do like 40 seconds worth of half strokes on each side, then turn around and do 10 X strokes, and then rebuild the slurry with each one. But these right here, guys, I do not consider to be too challenging too much, but they are challenging at the same time. Now, once you get experience, they become different. You know what I mean? New guys, you're not going to learn these right away. You're going to have to spend time. You're going to have to spend time honing. That's just all there is to it. And I'll tell you something else, too. The chances of you honing a $200 or $300 or a $100+ Boker or Raufoss or a $200 Terrasart or Silver Loaf Custom or whatever like that, slim to none when you first start out. More than likely you'll be honing on a $20 to $30 eBay special. Nothing wrong with that. Or Gold Dollars or ZY razors. Be picky about where you start. Make a cool, calm decisions and try everything as I stated. And you should be alright. You should do good. Stick with it and learn. And try to ignore the poobahs and the expertitis or wannabes and the crotchety old geezers that don't know spit, that they never left the 20th century or whatever. The ones that preach the Norton Waterstones, you want to avoid them because in their minds and their minds only, sadly, that stone's good for them. You see it everywhere, and I don't know why, but it's a waste of time buying any Norton Waterstone. Their oil stones might be okay. I don't know. I've never used one. But in the end, try things out for yourself. Make your own judgments and your own decisions. Don't take no wooden nickels, and don't let nobody blow smoke up your butt. Okay? I mean, what you do is what you do. As I stated in the beginning of this video, take what I have to say with a grain of salt. Try things for yourself. Ask some questions. That's how you learn. Do your own research. You don't need to spend a lot of money on a microscope or any of that. If you can't see it too good, then fine. But if it helps you see something better to where you can understand what's going on better and helps you out that way, cool. But you really don't need to spend a lot of money on honing. In fact, I've been blessed in that regard. Let me see if I can find it here. It's around here somewhere. Where is it? It's in here somewhere. Oh, goodness. Here it is. Alright? You don't need to spend much. Here's what I use for a loop if I think I've got an issue. And I sometimes don't even use that. This is a $5 jeweler's loop, non-illuminated. It uses the light of the room. If I think I got a chip or something, I will use this. But 9 times out of 10, I don't use this now. I've been blessed with really good eyesight and whatnot. And if you want to know how to hit the whole edge, take a Sharpie, mark the edge or the bevel all the way across on both sides, and hone. Above all else, have fun. Hone till you can't stand the sight or the word hone, but never quit honing. Never ever quit honing. The day you quit honing, you'll start to lose your touch, your feedback, and everything. I ought to know. I'm back at it again after a 9-month break of using cartridges. But I'm going to tell you, stick with it. Keep at it. And eventually you'll get good enough. And then when somebody else new comes along, you'll be able to share your information with them. That's what the purpose of this video is share information. Alright, take care. God bless. And have a good night.